Alright, gamers. I need to turn this way down. Way down. Actually, turn it all the way off. I haven't listened to that album. That was Golden Apples by Shirabon. I haven't listened to that since high school. Which was like 8 years ago. Wow. That was like some of the first music I ever bought, I think. And my music tastes have evolved so radically that I don't even know if I, like I'm not gonna put on fucking Battleship by Patricia Taxon as an intro music. That'd be, you know, what am I gonna put on? Like noise music? The stuff that I listen to nowadays is psychopathic. No, I'm gonna put on my funny little chiptune songs that I downloaded when I was 15 and thought that it was the most epic thing ever. But welcome back to Making Jak 4. This is Jak 4. This is Jackie, legally distinct for legal reasons. This isn't Jak 4, but it is. I did not have any. There are no guns or vehicles or big boobs, which are like, or funny little talking rat characters, which I do think are kind of. So yeah, it's fundamentally different. Also, I think someone just is knocking. I don't know if they're knocking for me. They might be knocking for me, but I think they're not. Oh well. What did I do last time? I made a funny little man. Yeah, now I'm concerned because now I'm scared because I don't know if they're knocking at my wall or if it's just someone slamming on someone else's door. Someday, I will move back to rural Nebraska and never have neighbors again. Oh well. Let's see. So we made a little man. I need to. Let's get our to-do list up because there's a few things that I need to do. Finish tutorial. Code shopping. I need to. Yeah, we need to finish the tutorial first. Because if you weren't here yesterday, I'll undo stats. Okay. So there's a little tutorial. There's a little tutorial Tyler over here. And yeah, when you go near him, he runs up. And so what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to add dialogue to let the player choose when to do this, so that way they're not just like confused by it, and also add prompts for the different inputs. And that should be interesting because I want to make a nice system for it that I can use later. Because a lot of the stuff that I've made for this game, I'm probably going to wind up reusing for other stuff. Like the dialogue system is really good, and other things. And like the save system is the best that I've ever made, and the movement is the best I've ever made. Definitely the most complex though. I may actually. Oh yeah. And then here I need to finish up this movement a bit because. Here he moves way too fast for you to actually keep up or meaningfully see what he's doing, because there's some important stuff that he teaches, like the fact that you can ledge grab here, because I don't think that'd be obvious to players. So it'd be cool if like they really see like, oh, he ledge grabbed there, can I ledge grab there? And then they do, and then they feel like a gamer. And then I also need to add the ending here. It's gonna be dialogue will restart here, and then like his mom will yell at you that he can't play on the rocks. Because, you know, he either falls and hits the rocks and dies, or he falls on this side and that thing eats him. Let's go say hi to this guy. I don't know if I actually said it on stream, but I beefed him up. And they're pretty ferocious little men. Oh yeah, eventually I need to improve the particles, but I'll do that with the when I do all the sound effects as well. I'm not looking forward to that. There's a bug in Godot where it doesn't save it doesn't save functions on animations, so I can't directly hook footstep sounds to when the foot makes contact with the ground, so I have to do something else or modify the engine to fix the bug. But I'm still recovering from last time. I think that's what gave me such a headache yesterday, because it was like the physical manifestation of all the anger that I had gone through to make minor changes to the physics engine. But alright, let's go to first things first. Chunk 112 is our home. And I need to, the way the animation player is set up, it's just a bunch of animations. So the Tyler's movement is just controlled by animations that are sliding around. They're janky and it's dumb, but it works well enough. So I think first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna can I just scale this up? I don't think I can scale it. Maybe R? I don't think I can scale stuff. That's unfortunate. I'll just have to start dragging stuff. So I think this one's a little too fast. So I'll do it like yeah, this is also a little bit too fast, so yeah, that seems like an okay thing. Then he moves way too fast here. So let's move that. Yeah, this is going to be a very mundane process. Actually, let's get some exciting music. I could do a playlist of original music that I've made for various games. Maybe. If I can figure out where any of that is. Alright, first, let's get the 2 tracks that we have for... Here, I'm gonna bring up OBS so I can monitor the audio levels on this. Oh, cancel. Okay. How am I gonna negotiate this? Because some of these are very quiet. Yeah, like that's almost imperceptible on my end. And then it's gonna be like, for some of these, it's gonna be like a deafening wall of music. Do I have the music in here? I don't even think there's any music in here, is there? Scenes. And maybe the city has its music. It doesn't. Oh, the highway does, I know. This is an excellent use of all of our time. Me sort of assembling my, I don't know. It's okay. Alright, that's enough of my music. So we need this, I think. And yes, this is because a viewer complimented my music, so I've got an ego boost now. Now I feel privileged to inflict my own music on you. This one's so terrible. This part right here, just a mess. That's exactly what I was talking about. I played like 3 notes of bass for this, and that was the maximum of my abilities as a bass player. Someday I'll have to tell the story of why I have a bass. It's stupid. It's so dumb. So stupid. But that's for another day. So what? He falls into the ground there. Something dumb. Then he... What is this? It's like I feel like I shouldn't need all of these. Should I? And yet, this one admittedly, I've done a lot of reworking on this song because when someone was streaming the demo of the game, a commenter said, "No offense, but this sounds like the first circle of hell," or "This music is the first circle of hell," or something like that, because the melody was very annoying. That's a bit better. But yeah, I may significantly rework it again. But I don't know, it's okay. I mean, I don't even know if I'm gonna have music in the game actually. So that's something to consider. Or that's something I'll have to decide soon. This one's probably a bit too... Nah, this one's gonna be okay. Let's see. I want this to be a little bit longer, I think. Yeah, this climbing needs to be a lot faster. Oh yeah, the song goes kind of nuts there. Unfortunately, LMMS, my editor, isn't very good at or the music editor that I use, isn't very good at like changing time signatures, so I just had to kind of fake it there. It's just like a string of like what are they, dotted quarter notes or something, dotted eighth notes. Alright, you need to jump way later, guy. I think just climb a bit slower there. And then just going like so laughably slow compared to everything else. I think. And this was for another week-long game jam. This was the only track that I managed to make for a kart racer. And honestly, that game sucks. Like, there's some stuff that I'm proud of, like the actual physics of driving was good. Otherwise it's basically Big Rigs truck racing in terms of actual quality. Like, there's 3 tracks, they suck. The racers can't keep up with you at all. They basically just can't take corners at all. They'll spin out. And even with aggressive rubber banding, they just can't beat you. Like, you'll lap them and then you win. Yeah, this part's like laughably slow. Yeah, the jump still needs to be faster. That's good enough. Alright, let's get some actual proper music in here. What am I gonna get? Can't go wrong with the Kentucky Route Zero tracks. Wait, no. I have to do Control F. And then I can... Kentucky Route Zero is really good. I still need to finish it, because there's, like, released episodically, and I think when I played, there was all but one... Or there was only one left. Drop that down a little bit. Very fun game. Very good game. If you've never played Kentucky Route Zero, at least to me, it reminds me of driving on a highway in the country at night. That's the sort of experience that at least it is to me. I mean, let's see, this, yeah, Tyler's not brilliantly, oh yeah, I still need to fix, there's like a 2-second, he like stops for, he floats for like 3 seconds there. Okay, I'm just gonna fix that now, because there's 2 animations I need to fix. To stage 1, I think? Yeah, there's like, he goes through the terrain here. Let's just push him out a little bit. Push him up a little bit. So he like cuts across, but not too much, because it's still, you know, because there's, yeah, gotta be logical about the slope there. And then what? Touch stage 2. He's gotta, yeah, then I have no idea why I designed it like that. No, he has to, this has to just come back like 1 second or something. Why did I design it like that? Oh yeah, it was especially painful going back and reviewing the video where I was doing the engine changes, because I could see immediately like where the code was plainly documented. See, I need to move, I think, I need to move this one, I think. Then this position maybe needs to be moved back. Maybe that needs to be the same thing. Not brilliant. But there's a lot of stuff I gotta do today. Or, yeah. Because I'm also gonna start doing basically very little work outside of, oh. Where'd he go? Maybe I should have a little arrow. Nah, I don't care. It's the player's problem. You know, they're supposed to be immersed. This is immersive. Him bouncing around on what are clearly animation curves, with like a vague attempt at making at correlating with and there we go. Alright, so now what we need is for, instead of immediately starting the tutorial, we need to enter dialogue. So I'll add, oh, excuse me. dialogue. And then I sort of made a mess with this stuff. How do the dialogue triggers work? Let's just copy that. Enter if stage equals 0. And then there's going to be a function any of that because the dialogue will be from Tyler. No, wait, no. The main speaker, I mean, I guess that makes... Okay, and he needs his, what is it, visual name? Yeah, visual name. This is such a dumb system. Just a mess. Because I have the tutorial area calling the thing on the process, but then stage, well, I don't know if that's gonna be... That's fine. That's fine. If then emit signal tutorial complete. And then whatever. Function start tutorial. Yeah, dumb stuff. Alright. How should this tutorial go? I'm gonna do, so he's not gonna know any English. The story is gonna be like, what's the word for woman here? Or lady, or... Sari. So yeah. In the language, Ari is like the typical like feminine ending, and then ek is the typical masculine ending, so it's gonna be like, I need to check the medium dialogue, because he has, Ine. Ine is you, so it'd be like... Lashena Ine. Lashena Ine. Who? What is I think ate is the infinitive. Hugode. Lashena Ine Hugode. This will be tutorial dialogue. And then also for all dialogue, you can do a little... I really like this dialogue system. So like, skip here means that it won't show this reply. It'll show instead just whatever text I put here. So like you... So she knows the word Aya, or Aya, which means yes, but she says it Aya. What should be no? Ku... Baila. Baila. Baina. And then sorry will be, Jotia. And then this will start an event. Start tutorial. Otherwise, you will exit. This one's a bit loud on my end. This music. Okay, and eventually there'll be something after the event, because the event pauses the dialogue until it calls resume, and then once it resumes, it'll just exit for now. Where do I call resume? How do I call resume? I think for the shop, I manually just directly call it. Seriously, where do I do that? Because it's something like... Can talk, self, dialogue, sequence, self. Because with the dialogue viewer, an event... Oh, I also need to do these. Tracking the conversation time and formatting text and playing animations. But for now... Yeah, if the main speaker has a method it'll call that method. Oh, I think in this, the player manages their the dialogue themselves. Do I have that event? Yeah, on dialogue event. And then, yeah, there's a stop shopping function. So for this one, I need to get the dialogue viewer and press resume on it. So the thing, let's just get a function. Get dialogue viewer. Node return UI dialogue viewer. Equals. And then if once the dialogue is complete, it'll do it'll do dialogue viewer dot resume. And just to test it, I'll have like a boy seems satisfied. Yeah, here will be where more stuff is, and then there'll be like a transition to put the player back inside the main level. And also I need to figure out the logic for when the player falls off the wall, because they might not know that they can actually like come back in. Let's play. Oh, whoops. I forgot to give the player back control. How do I do that? Maybe event can have. It's gotta be. Event should pause true. Give player control. True. This is complex. No, maybe it'll just be another. You know what? It'll just be two events. There'll be unlock player. And then lock player. Does event just return true? No, it returns result.pause. Or result pause. Because, yeah, it's sort of a complicated logic, but these dialogue functions... Oh, it does just return true. What? Okay. And event unlock player. So yeah, once that event is over, it should lock the player again. So I'll do that on dialogue event. Yeah, the actual dialogue editor I really like. The API could use some work. I think I can workshop it a bit better to have things like complex dialogue where you have to do stuff. Or like you have to do a thing and then resume some dialogue and then do another thing. But will I play? Well, I'm not going to turn up my nose at a... Oh, the camera. The camera doesn't change. That's really funny. I actually kind of like the camera off to the center. But I don't think it would be... No, it would be bad as a deliberate thing. Like... Because it does make it a bit harder to judge, like, distances and things. And also, it's easier for the camera to get janked out in this position. But okay. Let's see if... Oh, zips around. I'll have to fix that because he zipped like from here to here. And then hopefully the dialogue should resume right where we left off. It did. I did not get locked though. I don't know what was up with that. So lock player, unlock. Maybe I have to do dialogue, unlock. You know what? I don't care. It's just gonna do one of these numbers. A good old-fashioned heart or copy paste code. I'm gonna make sure that those events are being called, so we print log ID. I should add health pickups to the game. Huh? Oh, did I switch them? Unlock player. Lock. Oh. It's because it immediately advances. I think I need to do... I think this needs to be something else. It needs to be something like if should pause, return pause, else return true. And then pause should return result pause. I'm gonna see if that works. Because I don't know what happens when you and two dictionaries together. It might fail to execute it. I will play the tutorial. So it seems like both of them were executed in sequence. Start, lock, unlock. Maybe I don't handle pausing right. Oh, it calls result pause when you pause. So I should just... I think it should be return result pause. And this doesn't need to do that. Start tutorial will not pause the game, or will not pause the dialogue viewer. However, talking or unlocking the player, at least in this dialogue, will. Didn't work. It only pauses the dialogue after it. That's weird. So for some, oh, it's because it's and. It's because it's and. I should just do them as 3 separate things. And maybe I'll do it in a more reasonable way, so, or in a more logical way. It unlocks the player, then starts the tutorial, then after tutorial is finished, it locks the player again. Yeah, because when you did and, I'm assuming it makes both of them into Boolean, so it returns true rather than result pause. Yeah, there we go. Then look at that. At 10 frames a second, because my preview still... Yeah. I mean, I like the monitor because it was... I got a really cheap 4K monitor, but I didn't realize it was because it was 30 hertz. And I think my computer just doesn't work with that. And the nice part about this is that the route that he takes is actually quite roundabout, so you can actually catch up much easier once you know things like climbing and jumping and climbing. Yeah, I hope this little ledge grab is easy enough to hit that players will get it, because my fear is that they'll think that I can't ledge grab there, so they'll try to so they'll just avoid it, and then they'll never learn that they can ledge grab on slopes. So I may, well, oh, it locked me. Oh, it's because locking the player should not pause the thing. This is coming along a lot faster than I thought. This is pretty good. I guess I do also need to add the prompt still, so that'll be a bit of work, but not too, well, it could be complex, because I want to do it properly. I want to have I want it to support whatever controller remappings people have, even though I don't have any controller remapping support yet. Nah, you know what? Screw it. It's going to be hard-coded. It's going to have hard-coded keyboard and gamepad configuration. And if you want to change the controls, you'll have to edit the Godot files. And that way I don't have to make an options menu, or at least controller rebindings in the options menu. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, okay. It doesn't auto-advance when you re-enter it. What should I do about that? After tutorial is finished. Because I think, how does it work with the other things? Yuck, my coffee's going cold. Oh, wait, I should check because I changed how pausing works, so I better double check that the shop still works properly. So I do this and then I press B. Okay, so I slightly changed the logic, so now it doesn't automatically advance to the next thing until I press A again. The problem is I like that for the shop, but I don't like that for the little character there. So how do I rectify that? I guess I just have to have like a auto advance on resume. What? Then if advance on resume, we advance on resume. Okay, that seems pretty simple. So that should. The shopkeeper should now act exactly the same as he did before. Or, no, he should act the same as... I should still have to press A. Oh, wait. No, I messed up the dialogue. I'll buy some stuff. B. I should move all the shop options to, like, the top of the thing. I may want that to be true by default. I'm of mixed feelings on it, because on the one hand, I was annoyed by how it was easy to miss whatever the shopkeeper said at the end of his dialogue after you shop, because of the whatever. But now you can't press B, or you can't mash B after exiting shop, it's complicated. But there's some logic that it does right after you start or stop shopping that it now can optionally skip by mashing B after shopping. Alright, let's just see if this works. If it does, I might just make auto advance how it works. It'll just call advance on resume. Oh. It should be pretty... well, the thing is, the player will probably not know the routes back into the village if they fall off the wall. So I'll have to have an option for, like, the tutorial to end and for them to help you if you fall out. Also, I need to disable other dialogue when you're in this tutorial, because otherwise... or figure out some way of managing that, because right now... it'll essentially break him if you start dialogue with somebody else. I can show that after this. As long as... oh, it hard locked. Uh-oh. If advance on resume, advance. Why did that happen? Why did it freeze? The show? No, show. No, that's a system thing. That just changes the visibility. Set process input true. If advance on resume, advance. So what happens when we resume? Why would that cause something bad? I mean, all pausing does is like it calls pause and then returns because it's gonna ignore all of this stuff, but it sets the current item to whatever it should be. No, okay. I think it first needs to do something like equals get next. No, it needs to, I think, get next here. I think it's getting the same item. Yeah, because when it pauses, it doesn't set the item to the next item in the list. So when it resumes, it just does this line again. And then it does, and then because it's resuming, it does it again, maybe? Or maybe it was just, I don't know. I think, long story short, I think that should work. He doesn't look terrible. I mean, there are definitely places where he's really janky looking, but there are places where he looks okay. Oh. And I'll just do the... I don't know if I want to reuse the button prompts from my old game, because they don't really stylistically match, but then again, I don't know if the new ones would match, like, because I have an idea for a design, but okay. The boy seems satisfied. You know, for now, that's good enough. The boy is satisfied. I kind of want that to work the same way as the Ooh, this will be complex to set up because I think for both of these, I want this to execute, but then it has to wait until A to do this one. No skip. So, this is, to explain this, by default, these empty lines, these lines that only have, like, scripting, when you press the button to advance the dialogue, it'll execute this line, and then it'll immediately show this line, because, well, I don't want to show... It doesn't make sense to show empty lines of dialogue. But now, what I want it to do is essentially that. I want it to execute this line, but then wait for me to press A, and then do this line. And I can do that by just adding I'm going to add a new function called noSkip, which instead of hiding dialogue or not showing dialogue, it will stop execution and require that I press the A button to show the next thing, even if this is empty. I think I can do that, and I'll add that to all of the shops as well. So it'll be like event open shop. No, it doesn't have noSkip there. It has it, so yeah, because for the shops, there's this function called exiting, which basically changes the behavior of the B button. Because by default, when you press B, it'll send you to this tag. But what I want is that when you exit a shop by pressing B, you can just keep mashing B and it'll go through its normal dialogue, because that's typically faster than like getting here and then it does all its dialogue, and it feels more natural. But I still like pressing A to actually show the dialogue. And the village shop, I'll do the same thing. So it'll be open shop and then exiting noSkip. How should I do this? I think I need a new result type. So basically the custom results are just dictionaries. I should lay these out a bit better. These are not dialogue functions, so they should be above the dialogue functions. And then, so yeah, if the custom text is next, it'll do and result not equal to result noSkip. Now, what does it need to be? Oh, that's complex. And not noSkip. And, yeah, and then here, it'll skip this stuff if there's no dialogue. So var noSkip false elif r equals result noSkip true. So let's see if that works. This is a weird And that actually... that makes it so that I don't need the stuff there. Like the auto resume on pause, because now I'm not resuming on pause. Or no, I am. It's just gonna be doing this and then this. Okay. I guess that means that I'll set auto advance to true by default. I should have no skip set by default when you do an event that pauses. It's kind of complicated. I'll just have exit no skip at the end of everything, or at the end of all the dialogue. Or exiting no skip at the shopkeepers. There's only 4 of them, so it's like I have to do it 2 more times. Oh my goodness. I should definitely write some complicated logic that could potentially have bugs to avoid writing a weird line of code 2 times. But okay, and this should automatically lock me. And then I press A, and the boy seems satisfied. That's good. And now, I'll make it so that auto advance on pause, or on resume, is true by default. Or maybe even just make, well, I don't care. I'll just make it true by default. So that way, if for whatever reason I want it to not do the correct thing and want it to do something weird, I can do that. So now I should be able to mash B after I go to these guys. Basically, I'll come up with a clever excuse. Buy something, then mash B. So yeah, when I pressed B there, now it shows the right dialogue. I hope you found what you were looking for. Because I think, you know, because I try to make it so that it's as convenient as possible, and that anything that mildly annoys me, I make it behave in the way that I would want it to behave. Like, when I was mashing B, I mean, originally, it would actually put you in an infinite loop if there was any dialogue, because you'd have to press B to go into, like, the exiting dialogue, and then keep pressing A to advance it normally, because otherwise, you would press B to start it over and over again. So she just kept saying, gotta go, bye. So I made it so that you have to press B. And then it was weird when you pressed B after exiting the shop, and then B to exit the dialogue, and she said, gotta go, bye, rather than some sort of, like, relevant dialogue. So then I made it so that you could call the exiting thing. But yeah, okay. I forget what else I was going to do. The tutorial prompts. That's what I was going to do. How am I going to do this? I need another node. For tutorial prompts. How do I want it to go? Let's see. And I'll just make them all like sphere shapes or something. I don't care. So yeah, first thing I'll do is I'll just place down There'll be a script. There'll be entities one time tutorial prompt. And I'm not gonna, I won't deal with that quite yet. Collision. I'll just duplicate it first. Roll jump. I guess I'll add it. I'll have the same prompt for both of these. So it'll show that twice, and then it'll show, here it'll teach you how to press circle and then like a spin kick in the air. And then the final one will be right here. It'll teach you how to climb. And it'll have two of them. Export texture. Export string. You know what? Should this be a texture or should it just be letters? Nah, I'll do textures. I'll make nice little sprites of the keyboard buttons, even though it'll probably be like if someone's using a layout that's wrong or a different layout, it'll be the wrong prompt, but whatever. People know what like quickly put together indie games are like. All the prompts are wrong. They assume layouts, they assume you use an Xbox controller using a direct input or whatever it's called, X input. Keyboard text. And if there's no keyboard text, it'll do if keyboard text equals nothing equals gamepad text function on body enter if body is player body dot show tutorial. Let's see if global dot is using controller. This is gonna, so I'll have to add a system for like doing that. Let's make it gamepad to be consistent. Gamepad texture. So yeah, there's a few things I'll have to define. I'll have to have the global keep track of when you're using a gamepad, and I'll have to add this show prompt method to the player. And that'll do gamepad text else show prompt gamepad keyboard texture keyboard text. Let's see. I'm gonna take a break for like 5 minutes. So I'll put on a nice little vista for all of us to see. Open up Notepad. Back in about 5. I think pretty soon I want to lock down the starting area so that I'm, you know, the same way that I locked down the move set for the player, because there are things that I want to fix, honestly, but I'm not going to do that. But I should pretty soon, probably today, decide what to do with The Last of Us, the video game. Okay. No, what I meant to say is, I need to figure out what to do with the last bits of this area, so I need to add the NPCs that are like, for this thing, and then I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this. Because I thought it was going to be like the tutorial, like cave danger area, but it's not. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Actually, while I'm here, I want to add a light. And because I want to see if I can make it negative and make it look like shadow, because I don't have any sort of global illumination system. But it would be cool if I could make a dark cave, so I'm going to try that. It'll be like back here, and then, ooh, look at that, it's a big light. And we don't want a big light, we want the opposite, we want a shadow. Ooh. Content, look at that, that's a video game content. I'll make this dark. Now that's crazy. That's nuts and crazy. See, that's how... Oh, wait, but this would screw up the... Can I... I'll have one cast shadow. Because I don't want it bleeding out into here, and it will. Maybe if I do that. And then if I make the attenuation like this. That's crazy looking. That's awesome. Do I need... How much does it poke out? I can figure out how to make this not poke into out of here. I'd like to someday develop a deferred renderer where I can have lights of just arbitrary shapes. So I could like make a weird box in here. Because, yeah, I'm not going to have shadows casting. I want to see shadow mode. I wonder what it looks like to have another one. Yeah, I need the attenuation a bit different. Very, very suited song for making spooky dark caves. Alright, I don't think this is gonna work now that I'm thinking about it, because it'll be, you know, it shines like a light, which isn't how darkness works. In fact, darkness is sort of, in many ways, it's the opposite of light. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with this, and I don't think this blue is actually correct. Wow, that really just goes nuts. It doesn't work, I don't think. Yeah, it's not gonna work, I don't think. Because, could I... Nah, that's not gonna work. I'd have to have, like, I think a deferred renderer with, like, custom light shaders or something. That'd be pretty cool. Eventually, I'd like to either make a custom engine or make a custom deferred renderer for Godot and try out all these weird and wacky, like, ideas that I have for lights. Like, imagine you just put down a box and it's a gradient, and instead of like lighting it based on like the direction of the light, it just applies a gradient filter based on position. Like, that'd be cool. Stuff like that is what I want. But oh well. I need to do the tutorial text. And these are going to be really clunky because it's just one image for each of them. And these are all like multiple button presses. First of all, let's get our tutorial prompt. It'll be a H box. And it'll just be real big at the bottom. With two components. Label. And it'll just copy this. Oh yeah, and I also need the global script. So that'll have just a variable called using controller or using gamepad. Or using gamepad. True. And for now, it'll always be, no, it won't always be true right now. Function input event. If event is joy input event joypad button or joypad motion zoom true. If event is oh wait is event mouse or event is input event key, and I don't care about the others, so that'll be, this is how it'll work. And then we need to show the tutorial. Function show prompt texture tutorial dot texture rect dot texture equals texture UI tutorial label text equals text. So even without the prompts, I can start testing with just crouch jump will be and kick, climb. I think for these prompts, there's actually going to be no difference between the keyboard text and the gamepad text. Does it? Oh right. No wait, no. It should still do. So these should still be working because they are the mask. Oh right, I don't connect it. entered. Self. On body entered. High quality video games. High quality video game content. So then it should crouch jump. Yeah. Here we go. Roll jump. I don't think I will, actually. Air kick. Then climb. And then it does it hides it. After how many seconds should it be on? I think there'll be a tutorial timer. I'll add it to the tutorial. It'll be, what, 5 seconds? I think that's enough time. No, 6. UI/tutorial.show. UI/tutorial.hide. Let's see if that works. And then we'll eventually have, pretty soon we'll have the ability to hide or disable these tutorial prompts once the tutorial is completed, or it's marked as completed on load. Jump, air kick. How long does it take? Is it gonna go away? It should have gone away by now. Oh wait, no it doesn't. UI tutorial slash prompt timer.start. Now it should go away. And I eventually need to add nice little icons and clean up the shop UI as well. I was just thinking, this coat's okay. It is such, the particles are kind of goofy. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think they were the right choice to have little glittering particles for your kicks and stuff, but it's funny. It's okay. She just has some sort of like magical power, I guess. And then it's climb. And I think I will have F8. I will change these prompts slightly. While still. Or not without moving. Or I'll just set running, crouch, roll, jump, spin kick, air kick, and then like at slope, steep slopes. And now we need our lovely little UI hints. So we need, for the basic movement, I like to interact with the game, like the jumping and the stuff like that. I don't need to deal with that. Or I'll just let the player figure out things like kicking. I just want to show them a little bit of the basic movement, especially climbing, which is going to be... It's like the fun part of the movement. I should have added a climb. I'm still thinking I should have added a jump out of a climb, but... It's finalized. It's finalized. It's locked down. It's gone gold. It's okay. Let's see. Prompt. For... Also, we need little guy textures. And coats. But, okay. A... Jump. Crouch. Climb, air kick. And also I'm going to make a universal controller prompt thing as soon as I have a video that's ready to upload, so I'm going to upload that. Yeah, I'm uploading the VODs to YouTube, though they're like 2 weeks behind, so I'm trying to catch up on them. Alright, that's done. That's officially not done. It's officially not done. What am I doing? Right. I was gonna look up X input buttons because I don't have time to detect whether the player is using like an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, but X input is sort of a nice thing because it's designed to... The controllers are supposed to be laid out in a specific layout. So like joypad button 1 is always on the bottom, I'm pretty sure. So it's like 1. So even if this is in a PlayStation, it'll be X. On Xbox, it'll be A. On Nintendo, it'll be B. And that's not my problem. Because I can just say 1, and then I can put... But the problem is, nobody knows what those numbers are. So what I'll do instead is I'll just have, like, all of them, and then it'll be, like, grayed out. And then it'll say 1 here. So it'll be like, oh, okay, so it's the bottom button. And then for the other one, it'll be like that. So, I don't know, whatever that is, like 3? I think that's 3. Maybe that's 4. I don't actually know which buttons are which. I think Godot has them listed, actually. So if I do, like, joy button. Yeah, so... Okay, so button 0 is that one. So what I'll do is, let's have a list. I'm about to sneeze. Hopefully I haven't, and I thought I could have sworn I'd muted my mic, or had my mic muted this whole time, which would have been dumb. Okay, so B is number 1, so it'll be 1. And then 2, and 3. So first, let's start at making those. I don't think I use button 2 for anything. In fact, we don't even need prompts for 3 either. And you should just press the punch button. It would be funny to have like a Dark Souls style control scheme, but it's too late. I'm not adding controller rebinds. Maybe I'll add like an INI file that the user can change manually to rebind controls. But even that's a bit more than I want to do. I think these should be like nice, crisp, minimalist things. Like a black and white system where like the buttons you don't need to press are literally gray, and they're just like flat gray circles. And then the one you do need to press is like a high contrast, like black and white. So something like that. And this way, what should I do for pixels? I'll do pixels and I'll do 128 by 128. And then I need like guides and stuff. How do I make a circle that's centered horizontally in, can I add guides? What are these in? The problem is I don't actually know how to use Inkscape at all. Maybe just that? Yeah. I need 64 pixels. There we go. I don't know if this is appropriate music for making the A button. You know, how to press the A button in my fun little video game. Oh well, let's make it gray. How do I I want it centered. I probably should have learned how to use this dang thing. Object properties. Path. Stroke style. Can I change its position? Honestly, I think at this point it'd probably be easier to just align and distribute in the objects menu. I hear my music. Oh, it's because I have it. Okay. Hang on. I'm gonna clear out this playlist. Get something good. I guess the Hat in Time soundtrack. I mean, it's a lot of music. I don't know if it's appropriate music for this. Yeah, I guess it'll be okay. It's a bit too good for this, or a bit too bombastic and fun. So I'm going to make this a lighter gray. object. Align and distribute. Alright, my brain is too small for this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let's save this somewhere. Probably in the place where it's gonna be. Assets. Prompt. Zero. All right, I'm gonna show you some dark magic here. There we go. View box. I don't know what that does. Let's get rid of it. Blah blah blah. Maybe I need that. I don't know. CX. R. The radius of it will be 5. What am I dealing with here? What are these units? I don't know what that means. Get rid of that. So yeah, all this stuff, I don't need this. So let's get rid of Inkscape. Let's get rid of SodaPie. SodiPoppy. Don't care about that. We're gonna just make ourselves a dang old Inkscape, or a dang old SVG. Don't care about that. Don't care about this. Let's just add a circle. $64. Y will be 0. The radius will be 32, I guess. Let's see what that looks like. See, there's a thing. I think it needs to be down. I think it starts at, I think it's the top left corner. Then we need another one that'll be plus 32, 64, and 20. I think 32. The Y will be 64. I need. And I don't care about an ID. I don't need no IDs. Stroke width. There is no stroke width. The X will be, I think it should be, what is 128 minus 32? 96. I think that means these circles are going to be touching. Yeah. I want to trim these down a little bit so it'll be like, oh, I know what it is. The radius is 32 pixels, but I can just set them to 16. So this would be 12? Oh wait, no. That's not quite right. I was thinking diameter. Let's see what that looks like. There, that's a gamepad button. And then, why not? I'll add an ID. So this will be ID equals button 0. Let's see, this one is... I'll have to figure out which is which. Yeah, that's our little controller prompt. So this is not the right one. This is the... First we need the bottom center. What was the order they went in? I wish I hadn't deleted my paint program. Three is the top. So that's CY24. What is that? UI select. Weird. And I also have this, which I don't ever use, the dialog exit button. So I'm going to just remove the prompts for that. I need Xbox. So button 1 is Xbox B, so that is this one. Because it goes counterclockwise, I guess. Wait, no it doesn't. Yeah, because button 2 is this one. So this is now my gamepad base SVG file. I'm going to rename it. Yeah, look at that. SVG file. And then I'm going to do gamepad 0. It's going to be called gamepad 0. It'll have a fill of FF, and a stroke of let's see, white, stroke, black, stroke, width. I think I need to put these in quotes. Wait. Okay, so there's a style thing and... Okay, so there's two ways of doing it. I'm confused. Oh well. Stroke width of 5. 8. Let's see what that looks like. So this should be button 0 highlighted. Good, 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 good. I think I need to reduce the radius of the button though. Because now we have 8, so it'll be 16. Not quite that much. I think it's half. I think it's the radius is changed by like half. All right, that's a bit too much. Let's do 4. Yeah, that's looking like a fancy little minimalist thing. So now I need to just add text. SVG text. Ooh, but how do I add a custom font to an SVG file? That's gonna be tricky. I just realized I don't need to because I don't care. How do I add text? Oh, 0. X equals. So I need to put this at the bottom. CX. And it needs to be somewhat centered. Oh wait, okay, so this needs to be like 116 or something, and CY needs to be like 60. Font. 20 pixels. Sans serif. Is it regular 20 pixels sans serif? Let's see how this looks. Fill. What happened? Did it die? Oh no, it's way up in the corner for some reason. Maybe I need to add it as a child of something? Can I add it as the child of the circle? I'm gonna try that. I don't think I can add text as a child of a circle. Yeah, okay. It says right in the Mozilla site, in the Manila site. If text is included in SVG and not inside of a text element, it is not rendered. It is different from being hidden by default, as setting the display property won't show the text. All right, let's undo that then. Eventually, I'll figure out where it's being stored. So center X. Is it the same as the? Maybe it's the same as rendering. 64. CY equals 104. See, I'm hoping it's actually centered. So dumb. I'm so dumb. I can't believe I'm doing it this way. Maybe that's not right. I'm just gonna remove that for now. We'll see what it looks like with the default. It doesn't look like anything. I can see it. I can see it way up there. I don't know why it's so, like, or see, oh, it's X and Y. I'm an idiot. So if it's 20, so this should be, it should start with its top left corner in there. Yeah. Now I just need to figure out how to center text. Yuck. Okay. So the bottom left of the button. Am I starting from the bottom left? That's weird. Does the X... Okay, so it's the bottom left of the text, I think. So I need to reduce this to like 58. And then I need to increase this to like 120. I need to decrease it to like 10. And then still decrease this to like... I'm gonna make this 24, and I'll have 0. It needs to be more. It's gonna be hard because fonts are really, the font sizing, like this is not pixels, this is not measured in pixels, this is measured in pixels. This stuff is not, so it'll be 54. Slightly too much. Okay, that is good enough. It was stupid of me to do it this way, but oh well. Project, UI, prompts, gamepad 0. And it's not even going to be like this. It's going to be like I need to combine them into like gamepad plus, you know. It doesn't even have the text in there. I'm going to have to bring it back into Inkscape and export it as a PNG anyway. And also I don't get, it feels like this circle is smaller than the others. I'll just deal with that. I'll just live with that, I guess. First things first. I'm gonna not do that again, but I am going to basically swap these. Prompts. Gamepad 1. Then what? What? Why did it save as something called a gamepad? What? What are you doing to me, Sublime? It's a... Why did I make this so hard on myself? Why did you save that as the wrong thing? It's gamepad1.svg. Alright, I'm just gonna probably just have to... It'll be easier if I just made the proper code to, like, have list multiple buttons with, like, a plus sign. But let's at least see how all these look. So it should be... Gamepad texture will be gamepad 0. And then for the roll jump, let's just test each of them. Gamepad texture. This will be B again. And yeah, eventually this will all be correct. Oh yeah, I also need to make sure that the options work. So I'm going to test this one with the gamepad. Alright, so now I'm going to switch to the keyboard. Yep, there's no prompt. And then I'm going to switch back to the gamepad. Does that. Yep. Then back to keypad one more time to make sure that there's no prompt, which means that it's swapping to the other one. Okay, good. So now I'm just gonna add the text by myself in Inkscape, or maybe in like Krita. Maybe I'll just, let's see. Can I import these? My God. Why do you have like? How do I open a document? There we go. Need this text. Can I get the text, please? All right. Let's export this as a PNG of 128 pixels by 128. Hopefully it's transparent. And I'll just it is not available. It is invisible, in fact. Inkscape, you have failed me. You have failed me, Inkscape. Yes. I want to export. What is all this stuff? What is this? It's exporting what? Why would it export like 33.3 pixels? This is so complicated. It feels like this should have been a much simpler. It feels like it would have been much easier to like do it if Inkscape were good. But oh well. That's the catchphrase. Oh well. Why is this one different? I swear to God, this circle is smaller now. Oh, it is smaller now. Hang on. Yeah, I needed to change the radius as well. How is it that you cannot close Inkscape once you open it? Unless, like, pressing escape hid that thing. Oh well. I'm getting mad. Let's just add some numbers here. Because now I just might be able... Bit big. Good enough. What I should have done was make these circles different colors. How do I select a circle? Fill. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to make them black, but partly transparent. It'll be like that. And I'll do that for all of them. If I can eventually click the circle. Now this is button 1. Doesn't really look good. It's just kind of an ugly font. Alright, good enough. I don't know why it decided that 33.87 pixels was what I wanted to export. It feels like a lot of open source programs sort of break the principle of doing the least stupid thing by default. Like, I think it's perfectly fine to have the ability to export part of an image, but by default, it should export the whole image, because I'm probably going to be using the whole image. What is this, button 3? Wait, why is it... What? Oh my god, it's changing the... What? I'm going insane. Changing this changed this. Even though it's the same units. How am I exporting a range? I'm gonna have to export all of these again. Because they're probably all, like, fucking 35 pixels wide. It's like... Replace. Okay, let's double check that these work. These are the right thing. I guess that's 128 pixels. So yeah, these ones are not 128 pixels. Yeah, it's really breaking that principle of don't do stupid things. And it's not even saving my configuration. Like, why would I, by default, like, why would I want to export 33.97 or whatever pixels of it by, like, so much that even if I change it to something else, you'll assume that that's what I wanted? And why does making this bigger make the image smaller? I keep complaining about it, but that's because there's a lot to complain about here. Like, I'm pretty sure okay. Ooh, let's make sure that I can do project UI prompts. Replace files in this destination. And also I need to remove these import files. And I guess these will have an array of textures. And for now, it'll do that. So for all of these, most of these, there's going to be at least one gamepad 0 there. So let's see what that looks like. It should be, I think, pretty nice looking, because it should be like dark or like very faded. Yeah. That's a nice system. It has a little button. And then I'll have to have I think a plus sign. And I think I'll only let there be I'll only have two UI buttons, because it's only for this. Okay, so if textures.size equals 1. So now what I need is a button for L1, or LB, the left bumper. This is good music for this, but tragically it's not mine, and it's in a copyrighted game. So I doubt they'd let me, well, nah, it would be too familiar. It would be too confusing. Yeah, that wasn't a sincere thought. I like my little music for it, which is basically a very similar thing since it's plucked strings. What do I need to do now? All right, I need to make one last thing. Let's see if I can negotiate Inkscape to create a document. It's like, I just don't like this interface. Like, it just has the wrong options in basically every regard. like, okay, so this... I don't know what that is. That was a mistake. Yeah, these are pixels. So I'll draw like a trigger. Maybe. Nice trigger. See if I can unhorribleness this. Look. I don't think I need this one. I do need these to be... Yeah, I don't... Fill and stroke. I don't have that saved still. I like how it doesn't have the same 35%. It's 35%. Where am I? What did I do? Yeah. Oh, holding shift and the middle mouse button. Yeah. Is every single tool I use has different controls for the middle mouse button, and it's hard to deal with. This is not going to be easy to tell that it's a trigger, but it is a trigger, I swear. It's not a potato sack or something. What did I settle on? 4 pixels? Yeah, 4 pixels. And then LB. I mean, that's flipped. It should be Oop. Oop. Let's... see if I can get this calmed down. Can I rotate it? Okay, I can. Eventually. This is... This is a very high quality UI prompt. There's no flaws with it. Gamepad LB. And I'm gonna have to design the buttons for, or the squares for the whatever. Okay, let's double check, triple check. I have to manually specify this. That's fun. Oh well, I was gonna move it to somewhere else anyway, so it's not like it changed anything. Oh wait, whoops. This needs to have a fill. Completely white. And it'll only show the LB for now. It doesn't show any of them. Oh wait, it's because so I need like texture 1 and then like texture 2. If it's greater than or equal to 1. If size equal to 2. We've got some brilliant gaming here. LBX. And I'll add a label here. It'll be control. And this will be a spacer. So that way there's like, let's do like 60 pixels between the two. And this will be similar, where it'll have, first I need to copy the font. Paste. And that'll be done in here. UI /tutorial /prompt, no, plus show. Otherwise that little plus sign will be hidden. Well, that ain't terrible. Now let's see. I need my spin kick. And then I need for climbing. I might need a tutorial for punching. Oh, but if you fall here, you have to, and you don't know how to climb, you have to restart the whole thing again. That's so mean. Oh well. All of these by default will be function enabled, enabled E. Cool. No, it equals false by default. C in get children if C is shape C dot disabled equals not. And yeah, that'll be... Man, I'm getting some terrible stuff here. So, export node path var where's Tyler? Start the tutorial. Okay, it's next stage. If stage equals 0, prompts var let's see in get children. Alright, that was sort of dumb. Because now I have to just set that prompt. Alright, so what this is supposed to do is when I start up the game, I should not have these prompts anywhere. I do have them still. So by default, it sets it's not by default these prompts are not enabled. And then when you do the tutorial, then it has it. And then once I beat him, it should not have them, or it should disable them again. And then I don't need to worry about it once I beat the tutorial and it saves that. Oh. Yeah, you have to go all the way back here. This is an okay system. Okay, I think I'm gonna save that, and then what time is it? It's 2:57, so that means that I'm almost at the hour break. This is a perfect time for that. What do I need to do? Here's my PowerShell. That's the wrong thing. So if I type PO, it shows the PowerShell. If I type POW, it shows the power and sleep settings. If I type POWE, it goes back to the PowerShell. If I take power, it's still the PowerShell. Okay. It's like, it's trying too hard to guess what I'm gonna do, I think. I complain a lot about my tools, and that's because I'm a bad craftsman. Is my mic? Okay, my mic has not been mute. It was just the thing was in the way. Okay. I'm always worried that my microphone is mute for the whole time I'm streaming. M controller or game pad prompt in alrighty. Let's see, so it's 2:58 now. I guess after the break, we will do exciting things. We will do the keyboard prompts. Maybe the first, and maybe I'll add a tutorial for when you first fight an enemy. Should I do that? Why not? Maybe I'll have it pop up when you're near an enemy, and it'll just, you know, when the music starts playing, it'll also show up the prompt if you've never killed an enemy before, and it'll be like, whoa, 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 wait, what's happening? Like, I want the player to deliberately be kind of disoriented by it. Yeah, that should be good. Then the little guy's textures and coats, then some coat shopping. This is a lot of stuff for 3 hours. Maybe I might stream later than that. I can stream till like 8. That's no problem. Especially if I take an hour-long walk. And then add some little guys around. I'll dot them around, give little quests. Okay, that seems like it's a good place to stop. So I will see you guys at 4.